Is Mission, Kansas on a mission to ticket everybody? A front-page story in the Kansas City Star this week called Mission, Kansas, the ticket capital of Kansas, with police issuing more tickets than there are residents. That amounts to almost 2 tickets an hour, 24 hours a day. That means you are 9 times more likely to be ticketed in Mission than in Overland Park, 18 times more likely than if you happen to be driving through Lee Summit. Now, is this really about safety, as they claim?
I seriously doubt that. You know, Mission is, they are blessed in many ways to have a lower crime rate and not some of the issues, so that they can literally have their police force going out, the entire police force, writing tickets. I mean, in Kansas City, you have a certain number of the officers that's what they handle, and everyone else has to deal with more serious crimes. Mission doesn't have that. So they're out there doing this. It's generating money, but you almost wonder if some of it isn't self-fulfilling prophecy, because they're writing so many tickets to generate money to pay for services and the officers to write all the tickets.
Maybe once the Gateway project opens up, they won't have nearly as much pressure to write tickets. I live in Northeast Johnson County, and I tell you, I see police cruisers constantly. Many of them, again, like Mary points out, you know, thank God the crime rate's not bad. They got a lot of time to pull people over. I applaud Karen Dillon for a great story, though, just vividly displaying how many tickets get issued in Mission.
Bill, now the mayor, Laura Cornwell, came to KMBZ this week. Give us a little bit more insight into this.
She said it's all about public safety, that it's not about generating revenue. And
they did have one of the highest traffic accident rates in the state of Kansas before the current police chief came into office there. And so they were worried about that. Wasn't that the case?
That was the case. And one thing people may overlook from time to time is that Mission does get a lot of cross-county, cross-city traffic from Kansas City, Missouri into Johnson County, vice versa. But I talked to a traffic lawyer day before yesterday, and he said among the trade, it's been known Mission is a speed trap.
Now, it is interesting. Mission, though, it does get a lot of is getting a lot of headlines for a lot of different quirky kinds of policies. Everything from the driveway tax of late. We also had they were going to be the only city in the entire metro to unilaterally do a cell phone ban while driving. And Dave Helling, actually, in this morning's newspaper, you were talking about a potential consolidation with the city of Roland Park.
I was trying to make a point.
I know you were. What type of reaction did you get to that story?
Well, a lot of people have written say that would be a great idea that will never happen, which happens a lot in Kansas City, in the Kansas City area. Mission has also had a controversy over redevelopment along Johnson Drive. There's a big fight over that. The Gateway project that Kevin mentioned is, of course, where the Walmart is going. That, by the way, is also getting taxpayer subsidies. I just thought I'd throw that in. And so there is some disagreement about whether or not Roland Park now will have to sort of react to what Mission has done and whether that's fair. And what I was trying to suggest today is the bigger problem is we have a lot of little municipalities. That's inefficient by definition. Perhaps we should consider that inefficiency rather than where the Walmart goes.
There you go.
My only complaint about he didn't go far enough. I think Prairie Village, Mission Hills, all those smaller Northeast Johnson County, they're very similar, and I can't see a real reason for them to have separate city governments and police departments and all the rest of it. There's been consolidations with public safety, with the fire departments, etc. But again, you try to start seriously dissolving some of these political boundaries and all hell breaks loose. Yeah.